Hi guys, Forza guy. Hi, welcome back to part 2. Right, on this one, obviously I've seen on the forum, want to know how a mirror comes apart. I'm going to try. I've got limited tools at the minute. We're going to have a try, or at least to see what this mirror, how this mirror comes off. Okay, so basically, obviously you've got your standard mirror. Now, obviously we've got, as it sits, obviously you wouldn't have this here, the crack. So basically, to start undoing this, we need to undo this outer shroud here. Now, so if I can you see that screw there? Right, so we need to get that screw out. So, I'm going to set you up against my impact driver and hopefully you'll get an idea. I apologise if it's a bit poor, but it's the best I can do. Right guys, so hope you can see the mirror. Right, so basically what we have is we've got a screw directly underneath. So what we need to do is we need to Phillips screwdriver, undo the little screw. There's my lens, little screw, put that aside. And then basically it's a case of clips. I'm not going to bother it. I mean, you will have to obviously take more care. I mean, this one's done, so. But basically, there's clips around the outer edge of this. Okay, just see if I can find something. Where did it go? It fell out my impact driver. Here we are. So basically, you can use plastic pry tools, will probably be better than using metal objects, but just to give you an idea. So basically around the edge we've got clips. A lot harder on an 18,000 mile Forza than I can tell you on the 60,000. So we'll start at the bottom. Just pry it, you'll find the clips. God, they're tight. Can you hear that? It's just falling to bits. Like it's having a crisis. Yep, yeah, there we go. Boom. Right. So now I'll show you what's inside it. Right guys, so on the inner cover you will have, on the 2017 at least, with the LED, not the LED, the bulb light, you've obviously got your lens, which is attached to 3 screws, one down there, one there, that's holding the cable, and that's your other one. So basically what we want to do now, right, let's try again. So basically I need to undo that screw there and basically take the lens cover off. At the moment I don't have a tripod, as I said you are leaning against my impact wrench. Basic YouTube videos, eh? So that little screw that you're seeing holding the cable, take that out with a plastic washer. Basically pull the wire out. Now it's no good you being there, I'll have to show you. So basically we've just undone that screw which frees that wire up, and basically all it is, because you've got an incandescent bulb in these ones, is you just turn it anti-clockwise, It's a lot easier without the phone in your hand. Basically, rubber grommet, standard incandescent bulb, punches out your wires, and that's your lighting. So basically now, let's have a look. Yeah, it's taking a good Alright guys, I'm just having a look where we are with things. Looks like it's school kick out. Well, that's the end of that. But just for reference purposes, if you ever need to remove this lens, because like in my other one, I'll just give you an idea. So basically, I started with that one. Obviously that is what's left of the other side, this side. So basically you have that, your lens, which fits into there. As I was saying, you take them 3 screws out and that lens comes out of that casing. Now you can buy these parts separately, you can buy that, you can buy that, etc. I mean, I think that's quite cheap. They start getting expensive when you get to these things here, the stems. Right, so what we now got is, well, basically it's now falling to bits. So when you're into there, basically you've got this screw here. And let me just put you back and I'll, oh dear, right. So as you've just seen, we're going to take this screw out. Now on Rita, these don't come out. Trust me, I've tried. And that's one thing you will find if your bike's in all weathers. Corrosion happens, can bolt, and it basically lifts away. Now, looking at that, that's possibly salvageable. I believe you can take this mirror out. Don't see the point really, pulling that out. I mean, that's perfectly a good part, so why ruin it? So I'm going to put that aside. So basically what we've now got is a stem. Now you're probably thinking, well, no thingy. Anyway, so we've got a stem, got a screw. Just have a look. Now we need to possibly remove said plastics. This is what I say, guys, it is a learning curve. I have to have kids from school ruining my videos. Anyway, so let's have a look, shall we? Now, I may cut it short because I know obviously I've got to remove the screen, which sadly I don't have an Allen key with me at present. They are the remains of the front panel, the black panel. I mean, it doesn't hurt to probably undo these. There we go. Now I suppose if you're a tight Yorkshireman, you could probably re-glue it to the panel, what's left of this bit here. I don't see the point. You can buy these parts pretty cheap on eBay, so it doesn't really make any sense. I don't know why Honda think a piece of plastic has to have a screw that's probably getting on 3/8 of an inch long. Life, eh? Sorry. It's easier to look at. So to give you an idea, obviously you would obviously have your screen off, your front garnish as they call it. You've got screws in here. That whole, and then I've had it off on Rita. This panel here and the whole rail system, I believe you would have to take out. To give you a better understanding of that side, without trying to waste your time because I don't have the Allen keys, is to basically look at this one with the damaged plastics. So basically, when you get down to the nook and cranny of it all, basically, by the time you've got this panel off here, you've basically got your headlight bracket here, and that is basically where your mirror stem mounts to. And as you can see in there, they look to be 10mm bolts, and there's one there and one there, and that will basically unbolt, and that will come away from the actual headlight bracket, and you will actually get your mirror free there. You will then have a case of, obviously you have your cable, this here, that goes to your headlight. Now let me just chase it, sorry. Yeah, so basically you've got some connections here. Let me see if I can put a light on. So they run all the way back. There is a loom, I believe. I've not tried. I wonder if you can pull them. They look like waterproof connections. Sorry, this bloody piece of plastic. Basically, they look to be, well, I would have thought, yes, that side. Because obviously you wouldn't pull all the loom out to get the thingy off. Just having a look what we've got there. Right. Sorry about the brief pause. I was just working it out myself. So yeah, they're basically bullet connectors. I was trying to, as I say, it's all a learning curve. I've never took one apart, so basically get hold of them. Try and not. Yeah, probably some gloves might be advantageous. Look at that. Just took my skin. Yeah, so with that, we are now disconnected. Now, what my intentions is to try and do is, when I'm taking this to pieces, I'm going to get some labels, and I'm going to obviously mark that as right side mirror, just to give me a heads up roughly where things are. That's the 12-volt socket. But yeah, so as I was trying to basically say is, there's your bolts that are holding the stem onto your headlight bracket. Take that off, and all that's through there anyway, and that'll all come off. Now obviously mine's took a hit. I mean, I could probably still use that, but it's definitely road rashed. I mean, I believe the bracket system on these is a 2-part system. So you've got this bit here. Damn, it's gone, completely gone. Yeah, that's gonna. I have got a load of parts arriving shortly from another donor bike, not Rita as such. But yeah, that one's totaled. That's absolutely totaled. But yeah, so basically, when your mirrors rock, it's basically this here. That is a common problem with Forzas. I think it's, yeah, that's why they're made of plastic washers. They look like plastic washers to me. They do look like plastic washers. That could be metal. So yeah, you would basically unbolt it off of there, and I suppose if you want to split that, you would crack that nut there. As obviously as we go on, oh look, we got a Winky, oh Winker, sorry, Winky. The Forza's showing his Winky. So yeah, that's roughly it for the mirror side of things, and then it's just reverse process. I hope that gives you a little insight as to how the mirrors come apart. You know, I'm not going to lie, I mean, to be fair, when you first look at it, it's quite daunting, and I suppose I've got a bit of advantage here. I mean, I've got parts that are broken. Obviously, if you've got a pristine bike, a bit different story, you've got to take a bit more care. But yeah, so to roughly get them mirrors off, your front black shroud that sits here, your screen, there's a panel there, you'll basically lift all that out in there, so you can basically get behind here. Obviously on this side it was ripped out. You will unscrew all this. Obviously on your mirror, if you want to disassemble your mirror off your stem, you'll do as what I've shown. And then obviously to get further down to it and really take the mirrors off, basically there's, as I said, bolts down here. I hope that gives you a rough idea. You know, when you look at a Forza and you see all the plastics, you think, whoa, that really is daunting. That looks quite alarming to do. But it's not really. I mean, if you've got a bit of common sense, it's pretty simple. I mean, okay, that shouldn't happen to you. That's primarily because it's just bricked out and the whole headlight is, well, it's departing, it's leaving us. No longer wants to be part of the Forza family. But yeah, without obviously trying to drag the video on too long, and I do apologise if the video broke away slightly, but that roughly gives you an idea how one's put together. Obviously next time, part 3, I will have all the tools available, so we'll get this screen off. Just as I say, just bear in mind when you do it, depending on your condition of your bike, your age, there will be bolts that will refuse, and my Rita, obviously at 58,000, she does refuse. I have tried with them stems. I mean, she doesn't, as I showed you at the top of the stem, them screws just don't budge, and I have tried. But it's the zinc and aluminium corrosion that happens. And when that happens, well, you might as well ignore the first bit, try and strip the plastics and take it straight down off the headlight bracket. Because otherwise you're just going to round your bolts out and you're never going to get anywhere. But hopefully this will give you a rough explanation. Part 3, as I say, we'll try and tackle that screen. We'll try and tackle the screen. We'll also try and tackle the headlight. I don't think obviously that's going to take a hell of a lot to come out. I mean, from what I can see, yeah, she's ripped out her loom and a few other bits. But anyway, that's another story for another video. Anyway, speak to you soon, guys.